Hello and welcome to the orientation for this Introduction to Philosophy course. This is a fully asynchronous course, this Introduction to Philosophy that you've registered for, and I want you to know what that means and how that works. So in an asynchronous course, we don't meet for lectures, we don't meet at a set time of the week for class and lecture. All of the lecture material is in video form, and you'll see I've put that in the weekly folders. You'll be able to access that in your own schedule on a week-by-week basis. So we don't meet at a set time in this course, and that's why it's asynchronous. Instead, the work must be completed on a week-by-week basis, on a weekly basis. So there are weekly tasks that you have to complete, and you have to keep up with those tasks week by week according to the deadlines for those particular tasks. And I'll explain to you in this orientation where to find the deadlines, how those deadlines work, and what tasks you'll actually have to complete weekly, and what are the other tasks that will come up in the course as well that you'll have to complete as we go forward. So I'm going to explain all that to you in this orientation. My name is Roger Foster. I'll be your professor for this course. I teach in the Department of Social Science. I'm a philosopher at the Borough of Manhattan Community College. And the easiest way to reach me is usually by email, and you can see my email address there. As we go through, I'll show you some other ways you can contact me online and what we'll be doing online, and those will be sort of ways for us to interact as well. So I'll explain all that to you as we go through this orientation. Okay, so there are specific things as an online student that will help you to do well and help you to excel and do well in not only in this course, but in any sort of online asynchronous college course that you take. If you've done these courses before, you might have a good sense of what you need to do to succeed, but it's always good to have a refresher, I think, to see, and there may be some things you can improve on, some things that you can find ways to do better, of course. So it's worthwhile to sort of think about these things at the start of the semester and why these things in particular work for online students. Number one is set aside a specific time for schoolwork. So have a schedule where you're logging in at specific times to Blackboard and the other platforms that we'll be using, and make sure you're disciplined about sticking to that time. So you'll have a specific time for doing your philosophy work, set aside that time during the week, and make sure you're disciplined about keeping to that time and doing the work in that time. And you'll need time both in the early part of the week when you need to get hold of the readings and complete the readings and watch the lectures and that kind of thing, and later in the week when you're going to be needing to do the assignments, the quizzes and the discussion boards and so on. So you'll need to be in contact, sort of throughout the week and doing different things, getting different information and doing your tasks on a weekly basis as we go through the course. Reach out to your instructor for help. That's really good advice. I'll show you the ways you can contact me more specifically in this course and how we'll be interacting as well. That's important. Another thing, number three, is build relationships with your peers. That really helps us as well. If you have good relationships with other people in the class who can keep you on track and you can keep up with the work together and you can keep each other apprised of deadlines, what's tricky and what's sort of, what needs extra work and what's coming up and so on. So that's really important. Check your online course daily. Aim to check it daily. Check it as frequently as you can, knowing that you've got specific things to do throughout the week. Plan out your semester so that you're making time for philosophy and you're making time for this course in your schedule. Number six, focus on learning. That's important, not memorizing. This course is focused on learning the material. It's not about memorizing specific things. We're not in the business of memorizing information, right? Philosophy is about learning how to think and learning different ways of thinking about things that are fundamental to what makes us human, whether that's about things like knowledge, things like ethics, thinking about justice, thinking about different sort of forms of socialization. So there's all kinds of things we can sort of focus on in philosophy, but we're focusing on learning, and in particular we're trying to exhibit the skills of analysis, how to analyze and understand texts, and critical thinking, how to respond creatively and critically to the material that you read and the material that you interact with. And 7, learn about resources available to you that may be of help. And I'll try and show you some of the resources that are helpful as we go through this introduction. Okay, the syllabus is on Blackboard, as you'll see, and on the syllabus you'll find my instructor information, my phone and email. You'll find information about office hours, and you'll also find, it's not on this sample, but you'll find on the actual syllabus on Blackboard the sort of code login to get access to Discord as well. So we'll be using the third-party software Discord in this class for blogs, for office hours, for introductions, and for other sort of chat and communication and community things that come up through the course. And I'm hoping that it will allow us to create some community in the course. Given that it's an online course, it's harder to do that. It's easier in a face-to-face course because you see people, you can interact with them. But I'm hoping we'll be able to replicate that using Discord, so we'll have a chance to interact and to sort of help each other with the material, and to help each other with the course and any questions or problems that you might have as we go through. Also on Blackboard you'll see the course map, and the course map is a really important document. I'd encourage you to print it out and keep it with you. And it's important because it has all of the deadlines for all of the assignments that you'll be doing in the course. As you'll see, it's organized into the sort of the unit or the week, and then we've got topics, what we'll be looking at. For example, week 1, you'll see it's Plato's Republic, and we'll be starting looking at books 1 and 2 of Plato's Republic. That'll be the reading. And you'll also find the videos and other resources there in that column. And then we've got assignments and activities. That'll typically be the discussion boards and the blogs. And then we've got the assessments, which will be the quiz, the weekly quizzes, and also the exams when they come up as well. So the course map will give you all the deadlines. It will tell you exactly when things are due. So if you have any questions about when the discussion board is due, when we're going to be doing the first exam or the second exam, you'll find all of that information on the course map. So this is your reference for due dates, and this is your reference for deadlines, and all the information about the weekly tasks and when they're due. Okay, we'll have 3 modules in this course, and to those 3 modules there are 3 different textbooks which will be required. That's the Republic of Plato by Alan Bloom, and all of these are available in the college bookstore. Make sure you get the Alan Bloom translation, that it says Alan Bloom on it. That's the one we'll be using, and we'll be starting off with Plato's Republic. That'll be the first module that we'll be doing in the course. And the second module will be on civil disobedience. We'll be using this short book, Essays on Civil Disobedience, for that part of the course. Again, that's available at the college bookstore on Chambers Street. And the third text we'll be using is The Philosophy of Tragedy by Julian Young. And this we'll be using when we start our third module of the course, which is on the philosophy of tragedy. So that's how the course is going to be organized. We'll be doing these 3 modules, and we'll be using these 3 texts as we go through. Okay, so the first weekly task is the blogs, and we'll be doing the blogs, like I said, on Discord. The sign-in information will be on the first class announcement, and you'll also find it on the syllabus. So once you've logged in, you'll see the Discord server, which looks like this, and you'll see there's a channel there on the left for week 1 blog posts. That's where you'll do your blog post, in that channel. And there'll be a channel for introducing yourself, which you'll do in week 0 at the start of the course. You can do that in that channel. There'll be channels available for general chat about the course, about the subject. And there's voice channels as well for office hours and for meeting. You can pop in and ask me a question. If I'm around, I'll meet you and answer it. So this is what we'll be doing the blogs, and like I said, I'm hoping we'll be able to create some community here and interact and help each other get through the course and understand the material in a deeper way, and sort of make connections together with the material, and sort of really sort of find ways of developing our knowledge here. So this is the platform that we'll be using besides Blackboard for doing the blogs and meeting and other things that come up in the course. So the 3 weekly tasks that we'll do, and you'll see them here, this is the assignments folder in Blackboard. And you'll see that there are 3 weekly tasks that we have to complete. There's the blogs, which we were just talking about. We'll do those on Discord. There are the weekly quizzes. You'll do those on Blackboard. And finally, the discussion board tasks, which will also be done on Blackboard. So these have weekly deadlines, either Saturday or Sunday during the week. And you'll have to keep up with them and complete them on a weekly basis. And make sure that you keep up to date with these tasks that must be done week by week. The discussion board is I take it as equivalent to class attendance and class participation. So if you're on the discussion board, you post every week and you participate, that counts as class attendance and participation, and you'll also get the points for the discussion board grade as well. So it's important to be present, it's important to be there, it's important to be part of the course and to be part of the learning and the learning experience, and that happens on the discussion board and on the blogs and on Discord as well. So make sure you're present, make sure you're active on a weekly basis, and that you're there doing all the tasks. And if you do that, I promise you'll do well in the course. This online course is about completing the work. There are tasks for you to do each week, but really the most important thing is your scholarly discipline and your effort to complete the work on a timely basis. So as long as you do that, as long as you're disciplined and as long as you complete the work, I promise you'll do well in the course. If you get stuck and you get lost, try to get in touch with me and hopefully we can work something out. But sometimes that does happen. You'll miss a week, or you sort of fall off, something happens and you can't keep up for a certain time. I'm always amenable to work with you in those circumstances. We can talk and work something out. I'm happy for you to make up. But it's really important that you don't let things go too long, and that you make sure that you give yourself enough time to do the work and to complete it. So do your best to keep up with the work and have a schedule and be disciplined about keeping it on a week by week basis. Okay, this is what I would suggest for how you sort of organize your week. Like I said, there'll be things that you need to do early in the week, and there will be tasks that you'll need to complete as well later in the week. So the first things to complete are the weekly readings. There will be a couple of readings to get through each week. And the first thing to do is to complete those readings. You might want to sort of skim it through first time, get a sense of the lay of the land, and then do a more careful sort of second reading where you sort of emphasize and focus on the important things you picked up on the first time. Make sure you have a sense of what's going on and what the important issues are. And then you can watch the 2 video lectures. The video lectures are in Blackboard in the weekly folders, the weekly materials folders. And for each reading, I've posted a lecture that explains the reading and explains how it works and what it's saying. So after you've had a go at doing the reading, at sort of focusing on what's in it and getting a sense of what's in it, then I'd look at the lecture presentations, the video lectures, and take notes and sort of assimilate what I'm saying about the lectures. So that's our kind of class lecture there, which you'll do after the readings. And the video lectures will be on YouTube. There are links in Blackboard, and I'll also make sure there are links in Discord as well, so that you can find those easily. So the readings and the lectures, and then when you've done those content sort of things, then you can get to the weekly tasks, and you can complete the discussion board and the blog post. Usually the discussion board is about one of the readings and the blog post is about the other, so you can complete those two things. And then the quiz, I'd advise you to do last of all, when you've sort of assimilated as much as you can, as much content as you can about the course, and about this weekly material, then you can complete the quiz. So discussion board posts are due by Saturday. Replies to a classmate on the discussion board and the blogs and the quizzes are due on Sunday, and Sunday is always the end of the week. Items are due by 11:59 on the due date, so the end of the day on the due date. So on the discussion board, you'll do your post by the end of the day on Saturday. You can do it as early in the week as you can. You don't have to wait till Saturday. You can do it Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, it doesn't matter. Remember as well, you have to do a reply to a classmate on the discussion board, and that reply has to be substantive, right? It has to be more than just well done or good job. You have to say something substantive and make a contribution to the learning of the class, both in your post and in your response on the discussion board. And blogs and quizzes are due on Sunday, but again, you can do those earlier in the week if you want to do that, if you want to finish early, or if your schedule is sort of slightly different. But remember, you have to do the reading and the lectures before you actually get to the tasks each week as well. Okay, so alongside the weekly tasks, which we were just talking about, there are 3 essay type exams in this course. Each exam will be a 2-hour exam on one of the course modules. So those are Plato's Republic, Civil Disobedience, and the Philosophy of Tragedy. So when we've finished each course module, you'll take the 2-hour exam. And the exam will feature 3 essay type questions. So you have to answer in each exam 3 essay type questions on Plato's Republic or Civil Disobedience or Tragedy. So the exams are they're not really about memorizing. I'm looking for you to have a sort of thoughtful and creative response based on your knowledge of the material. You're going to respond thoughtfully and creatively to the questions, and they're looking for you to demonstrate your knowledge of the material and looking for you to do some critical thinking about the material as well. And that's really important in philosophy, that we're not just looking to sort of regurgitate what somebody else has said. I want to hear your thoughts and your ideas about the material as well. So that's really important, and that's something that you're going to be doing in the exams. Okay, so this is the course materials section in Blackboard. You'll see it's organized into weeks. And if you click on course materials on the left, you'll see the weekly folders. In week 1, this is what you'll see. So there's the introduction to the Republic video lecture. So that's the first thing you'll look at, and that has some background on the Republic. So that's the first thing to do in week 1. And then you've got the Republic Book 1 video lecture. That's based on Chapter 1 or Book 1 as it's called of the Republic. And then the Republic Book 2 video lecture, which is based on Book 2 or Chapter 2. It's just a weird thing. The chapters in the Republic are called books because they were originally written on papyrus scrolls. So they were like 10 separate scrolls, so they're called books rather than chapters. But effectively they're chapters. So don't get confused and think there's a load of books here. There's just one book and 10 chapters in the book. So everything else apart from the video lectures in course materials is usually supplementary. Sometimes if I let you know, we'll be looking at that in class. You'll know to have a look at it. Sometimes it's just things for you to have a look at that are sort of helpful and useful for sort of understanding the material and a kind of background to the material. So you may find a lot of those things helpful. Usually the only essential things are the video lectures, and you'll find those, like I said, in the weekly folders here in course materials as well. Okay, finally, good luck. I look forward to seeing you and interacting with you all online, on Blackboard and on Discord. I wish you a successful semester, and I hope you fulfill your educational goals this semester, and that we have a fruitful and productive time working together. And I look forward to seeing you all on the platforms we'll be using.